Good morning, 9:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, October 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we've got some things to go over. We know that XRP looks like it's going to have a bullish bounce this weekend. Don't get too excited, though. We have an FVG gap right around 56 cents. That's a fair value gap from the drop down. And we have not back tested this 56 cents and filled in that gap. So oftentimes that happens before a continuation down. So going into the weekend, we were looking at a bullish scenario. Now, does it play out? Nobody ever knows. During the live yesterday, we talked about the fact it could come down near the 53.50 level, which is ironic because it came down to 53.50. And we only had a 23-minute live yesterday because I'm still under the weather a little bit. Should be a little noticeable that I'm feeling a little bit better today than yesterday. I'm not as stuffy, but still stuffy. But we're looking for this to play out on this. I know it looks like a bear flag, which it is. But in order for this to fill out, we've had speculation. The fact that it came down, and we do have that FVG gap. And what makes us feel a hell of a lot better about this is the fact we went around, up, came all the way back down. We did not invalidate, even though we came all the way to 52.40. We did not invalidate the 52 cent area. Came back up to sideways consolidation. Now, if you start to look at this in a transcending way, we need to come up near 56 cents. That's the fair value gap. That's also 56.44 is the technical breakup out of the short-term consolidation. So with the short-term consolidation and the FVG gap being where it's at, you could expect this bear flag is playing to the top side. And it comes up here, even if bearish, then if it wants, it could come all the way back down. And then if it was bullish, it could bounce here and still have the illusion of a big W reversal if that's what it wants. But it doesn't even need to do that. If we were to get above 56 cents, you could play this out in a slightly different agenda as well. But it all remains to be seen what happens this weekend. I think it's a very tedious position here for shorts, at least over the weekend. I'm not saying it's not going to be profitable long term. But right now, with that gap being where it's at, you've got to have some kahunas to go short here and not wait for the 55.4 to 56 cent area to try to put in that short. That's a very dangerous proclamation when you see a setup like we have, especially when it's trying to break to the top side. Now, this could be a fake out to start the weekend, and we could come right back down, and this could be moot. So let's just pay attention here. But right now, we're on the top side of this pattern consolidation. And the fact that we do have an FVG gap up there around 56 is a problem. Because those like to fill before bigger drops. I always say it's the trading bots. But they certainly do like to fill those gaps. Bitcoin's up about 577 points, or 0.92%, up to 63,000. It looks fine. Bitcoin looks like it's still building a formation. I heard somebody say it was in a double top yesterday, which didn't even make sense, but that's okay. It looks like we built a W reversal here, and if it plays true in this little bull flag, this should bring us up near 65, 66K, and then ultimately up to that 68,322. But we need to make sure everything stays true. We know with XRP in a finute way, what's looking like it's set up. There's nothing really to look at these charts. They're over the top or underneath. So until we need further, evidence, this is where we're at right now. Can this play out over the weekend and continue this bullish tug? That's what we're looking for. A nice V-shaped recovery on the drop from yesterday. So that's what I'm watching. And then the only other thing I really want to share this morning, because I'm only going to do this for about 10 minutes because my, obviously, the way I sound. But the only other thing I want to read right now is Ripple co-founder donates $1 million in XRP to the Harris campaign. According to the latest Polymarket election odds, Kamala Harris has a 45.9. Here, I'm gonna play this so I don't have to talk. It'll make it a lot easier.
It's $1 million in XRP to Harris campaign. Records from the Federal Election Commission, FEC, revealed that Ripple co-founder and executive chairman Chris Larson contributed 1,754,815.29 XRP, valued at $1 million at the time of the donation, to the Harris-Walz 2024 presidential campaign. The FEC filings show the contribution was made on August 14, 2024, to the Pro-Harris Future Forward Political Action Committee.
Let's just put this in perspective. So the United States government is suing Ripple and XRP for being a security, right? XRP is a security. But the Harris campaign has accepted XRP. Isn't that kind of a kick in the nuts? Isn't this a double standard? If it's a security, how is she accepting it? Like, that's what I'm, shoot the holder, but just pocket the rest. Like, that's what ends up happening here. So Ripple, we already know, is in the pocket of the government, and the government's in the pocket of Ripple. So this shouldn't surprise anybody. But isn't that just the ultimate, like, do as I say, not as I do kind of action? So the government is claiming that Ripple, or XRP, is a security, but Kamala Harris accepts $1 million in contributions with XRP. You cannot make this up. And what I'm telling you right now is this is the distribution of wealth. Harris right now, the Democratic side, is being given XRP as a campaign contribution when the price is at mediocre levels by design. Now, what do you think happens after this changes hands? Do you think the price continues to drop 50%? Or do you think this becomes a compounding thing where, hey, it was $1 million today, but when it goes up 300-400%, now all of a sudden you got $3, $4, $5, $10 million at the hands of Ripple? And in this case, I'm assuming Chris Larson.
PAC. According to Fox Business reporter Eleanor Durrett, this represents the first documented crypto contribution to the Harris campaign. In September, a spokesperson for Future Forward told Cointelegraph that the PAC was accepting crypto donations for Harris after false reports surfaced that the campaign was directly accepting crypto campaign donations. According to the FEC, Future Forward has collected over $200 million in contributions as of October 2024. Chris Larson's XRP donation to the pro-Harris PAC. Source: Federal Election Commission. Related, Kamala Harris knows crypto voters are up for grabs, new polls confirm. Larson and corporate executives pledge support for Harris. The Ripple Labs co-founder joined 87 other corporate executives to pledge support for Harris in a September letter, which read, "With Kamala Harris in the White House, the business community can be confident that it will have a president who wants American industries to thrive." Signatories of the letter also asserted that Vice President Harris has a strong record of advancing actions to spur business investment in the United States. Harris attempts to court the crypto industry. During the same month, a collection of crypto industry advocate groups and executives announced they were raising $100,000 for the Harris campaign to influence the vice president's stance regarding U.S. digital asset policy. The industry executives hoped the donations would cause Harris to deviate.
Guys, a bribe. I told you this before. Ripple is playing both sides of the fence. Whether Ripple or whether the Democrats or Republicans get in. This is such a bizarre one, though. Harris was... I'm not even going to get into it, but anybody voting for Harris is so funny. She couldn't even get off the ticket back in 2020, and now everybody, because you're Democrat, you're just going to vote for her when she wasn't even elected into that position, when she wasn't even voted into the race. USA needs to get their shit straight. This is embarrassing.
From her administration's current hostility toward crypto. Following industry pressure and outreach, Harris finally broke her silence and made the campaign's first statements about crypto policy. The Harris campaign issued this response in late September. "We will partner together to invest in America's competitiveness, to invest in America's future. We will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting our consumers and investors." However, the statement did not represent a departure from current administration policy. Portions of the response were lifted almost verbatim from an earlier statement the Biden administration made in May 2024 before vetoing the bipartisan SAB 121 repeal at the end of the month. Magazine, Harris Unrealized Gains Tax Could Tank Markets, Nansen's Alex Svanovic, ex-Hall of Flame.
So, I mean, that's where we stand right now. But like I always say, if you're in the political realm, don't make fun of somebody because they support Harris, and certainly don't make fun of somebody because they support Trump either. This is a far deeper reach than that. This is a way of division. If you're actually mad at somebody because of who they stand for, that's the wrong indictment. You should be chasing with facts. The fact is the central banks rule the world, the central banks rule the United States, and the two-party system is a crock. I'm not going to go deeper than that because I don't want to get banned. But remember, positivity over negativity. And this is a beautiful moment in which you don't attack somebody for their political belief, because whether you're blue or red, you're both wrong. Right? Central banks run the world, and until you understand that, you're wrong. Now, Why would you vote Republican over Democrat? Not that our vote matters anyhow. As you can see, Harris is on the ticket and she was never voted in. So it just shows the simplicity of the simpleton. So right now, it's a compounding effect for us in crypto. And now the fact that 1 million XRP, $1 million worth of XRP was donated to the Harris campaign from Chris Larson. Ripple's buying both sides, ladies and gentlemen. If you think this is a bad thing, you haven't learned anything yet. If you don't know what's going on here, you just don't understand. If you're mad at Ripple for donating to Harris, you've got a screw loose. So you're telling me if Harris gets put in, which most likely will happen in the U.S. because we're very rigged, let's just say, just like the crypto markets. But if you're mad that Ripple is playing this side of the fence, I would not be mad. I would not be mad. So you want to pay off both sides. Like they said, they were trying to get the vice president candidate that's running as VP to Harris. They gave him a bribe so that he would accept digital assets. I mean, it played out. They played out, said it, that they accepted bribes so that he would change his stance. Like, that is not who you want. But anyhow, that's where we stand right now. XRP's up a tiny bit, nothing major. It's not getting my boat excited right now. This won't get me excited until we break over 54.57, but first layer 54.48. So break over the short term, but I still believe this weekend we're in for a bullish push. I've made a copy trade, as you all know. You can go back and watch the video. If you're interested in copy trading with me, video description below and or pinned comments. I'm BLOFIN. Now, you got to be willing to risk some money in order to make some money. Like, where there's no risk, there's no reward. And I can promise you, where there's a reward, there's always a risk. Like, that's a new slogan. No risk, no reward. But where there's a reward, there's always a risk. If you don't understand what that means, you should not be trading. If you don't understand that philosophy, you should not be copy trading. If you don't understand that philosophy, you probably shouldn't even be spot trading. Because you're always going to have to put a risk to make the reward. Now, what makes the reward easier to attain is when you understand technical analysis. So don't listen to the simpleton that say technicals don't matter. If that's the case, right now you would have no awareness that if this does bounce out of here and hold, that we do have a target of 56.44. You would have no idea of knowing there's a fair value gap, and you'd have no idea how bad this could be for shorts this weekend if you decide to go short. Have a blessed day, everybody, and please consider joining the 27,000 plus subscribers on the channel. Consider sending a YouTube super chat and joining Tom's Army. I put in a lot of work. I would love to see more people on the team. And if you're looking to trade XRP worldwide with no VPN or KYC, you've got many good options here. Many good options. We've got, if you just go to my homepage, you click here on the links. Hell, you can even send a donation outside YouTube with HOTCOIN, Cash App. With Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. You can trade worldwide XRP and BITUNIX, HOTCOIN, and BLOFIN. BLOFIN is where I copy trade, which is on the bottom. BITUNIX is my most trusted out of the three just because of the simplicity. If you don't know what you're doing, BLOFIN might be hard. BITUNIX is simplistic. It's easy to see your in and outs. Very low fees. Spot fees are very low on HOTCOIN, BITUNIX, and BLOFIN. The lowest you're ever going to find. It's just not even a question. But if you're a newer leverage trader, I encourage you on BITUNIX. If you want to join me on BLOFIN, that's great as a copy trader. But also futures trade on your own. Don't just rely on me. If you're going to join me, you got to trade on your own so you can get better too. Other than that, stay positive, stay focused, and don't let the market trick you because there's a lot going on to give you the floof.